guys, so today the exotic life of a CCTV engineer, just got a quick job to sort out, sorting some external lights that did first fix for a couple of weeks ago for a friend, and then off to investigate a bit of an odd issue of a Hikvision turret that's just randomly gone offline. Keep tuned, we'll investigate the problem, find out what the issue is, either fix the unit or replace the unit and diagnose what caused the fault. And Morning guys, so over to customers to have a look at this camera that's been appearing to, well, it's gone completely offline. We just had a quick check on the actual camera itself, all appears fine, and reports sort of around 5-6 in the morning that the actual the colour view light has come on the unit. So the actual unit appeared to have turned on, but there's been absolutely no response in terms of any video or data. So what we've done is a quick check on the cable itself. Everything's been fitted fine and tested when we originally tested it. We've got our Fluke network tester to plug in and do a network test on it to make sure that it's all working correctly. I'm just going to quickly do that now. We're going to see on here, quickly done an auto test for networking, and it's received an IP address, found its targets, got a gateway to the internet and connected to Google. So we definitely know that the cable's fine. Just have a quick look in some of the other testing on the cable. We can see that we're connected to the switch with no issue. Cable is 8 meters with no breaks, no issues with the cable whatsoever. And we've got a 100 meg connection back to our NVR, so everything's fine from that point of view. Everything's working as it should be. So we're going to swap the camera over for another camera we have on board already, so that's part of our warranty deal. We don't leave the customer without a camera. We'll literally just completely exchange it for a new unit, move on, deal with the replacement as we need to, and send it back to Hikvision if that's the case. That's what we need to do with it. So long and short of it, camera removed and replaced with another one. Seem to be responding to some extent, but not to everything else. There's no visible damage, weather protection was all on, cable's working absolutely fine, network's also working absolutely fine, and no issues to report, no actual problems with it. And as soon as we put the replacement camera in, completely viewable on SADP. This camera was no longer visible on SADP, and the way that we've got this particular site configured, because it is miles away from us, is that all of the cameras on the NVR are on the same subnet as the NVR, so we can actually see, remote manage each individual camera, set the image specification and things like that, change all the settings on them directly. So where a lot of people will be using virtual host on the NVR in order to get to the cameras, on this particular one everything is wired through the NVR, but we can remote access each individual camera from HikPro Connect or via DDNS if you needed to. We haven't set DDNS up for security purposes. We just make sure that we use via HikPro, but in this instance I really wanted to get hands on and actually see what the issue is. I was convinced we was going to find a cable issue, perhaps where the location is quite rural. Thought we was going to find perhaps an eaten cable by an animal or something like that, but no such luck. So warranty call and replacement of camera. I can bet you bottom dollar we're going to get this back to the workshop, plug this in and have a look at it, and maybe do another video of it a little bit later. But you can guarantee we're going to plug this in back at the workshop, reset it, and it's going to work absolutely fine. You know that's going to happen. I just have that feeling, but we'll see. No visible damage, no condensations, no nothing. Doesn't look like there's any weather damage at all, and bear in mind every other camera on the site was exactly the same at exactly the same time. So done a site firmware update on everything while we've got there, and the customer's happy, everything's working, alerts are working, and everything's back to where it should be. But we shall see what happens back at the workshop. Maybe we'll be able to get it working, and if not, sending it back to Hikvision for warranty replacement. So back at workshop, just going to take this camera, plug it straight in. We already have PoE switch here geared up, so just to test again, camera comes on. It's exactly what it did on site anyway. It responded, powered up, but for whatever reason it just would not take any inputs. So back on SADP, and which ones we're looking for, and looking for the device. Still got nothing. Nothing. There we go, now she's come up. So for whatever reason, let's unbind that from the account. Connecting to device failed. So we found it. We know we've got some form of connectivity with it. Let's see if we can get this back on. Maybe DHCP it. See if we can write it from whatever settings it's been on. No, it's still getting an error code. So what we do a quick change this over, do a quick factory reset on it. Factory reset button is inside the memory card slot, so I'm just going to pop that out, take it out here, take the screws out, pop the memory card out, and we see how we go. Right, so we've got the camera factory reset using the pin button in the back of the camera. That's reset the camera completely back to inactive status. As we were saying, on the actual device on site, it's almost a pointless thing, as you don't know whether this is actually going to work or not. What I was doing with it, I already had the other cameras just to replace, might as well swap it out and change it with the other camera that I had, and then just proceed to move on with what I need. So on the SADP, as you can see on the screen, just going to open up the window here so you can see it in a little bit more detail. So you can see now the camera is this one here that we're looking at, is the inactive one. So I'm just going to throw up a password in here. Got a standard password for setting these up. Enable it to hit connect. Let's see if we can get it booted back up again. Reactivate the camera. It's still got an error code coming up on this camera, so it's something that's not liking about all of this. Not quite sure what we're going to have here. I mean, it could be some sort of firmware glitch, could be all sorts of different little things that cause a problem on it. I'm going to try and deactivate it again, take it out on the power cycle, and it's responding to power, which is obviously a good thing. And like I said, this will probably be the first turret camera I've actually ever had fail for any reason, so makes you think that this should be fixable, as there's no visible damage, nothing that looks telltale signs of being a problem. Hope this will boot back up. There we go, there she is, 192.168.1.64. Now we're still having a little bit of a problem with this camera. It doesn't seem to want to let us change any of the network settings or adjust anything. What I have got though, I've got this handy Hikvision CCTV MVR that we've sort of converted into a Windows PC, but it has a couple of handy things. We've got multiple network cards, so we can control its internal adapter without having to change any actual network settings. So one of the things that we can do is connect this one up to the Windows PC, and then we can start having a search on for network devices, and I'm just going to change over the network settings in here, so I'm looking at the onboard network as opposed to the actual home network of everything else. So I'm just going to see if I can try and reset the gateway, because it's like it's locked on a different subnet, even not letting SADP take control of it. Just after a little bit of mucking around, changing some IP settings. We managed to get ourselves on the same one, get it changed, get it activated, and get it back to now where we can throw it on a DHCP, get it a new address, and then I'll move back over to the laptop. Right, so what we have now, we've got the camera back up and running. We've now got it back to a DHCP address, which we've now got it back on the correct subnet for the rest of my network. Basically, we did that just by changing on the Hikvision box that we have, just changed the IP address and subnet on that in order to pretend, for all intensive purposes, that we're on the correct one, and then it managed to get past the error that SADP gave us. That let me activate it. As soon as I activated it, I could then plug it back into the network, and then it allowed the password to let me change the network settings back over. So what we're now looking at in SADP is the camera itself, 192.168.0.115. We're going to have to log into this from Chrome browser, because it's sort of cheating. I'm using a Mac that is boot camped, so my access and Internet Explorer is a little bit temperamental. So we're going to go 192 and just check we've got the right thing recording. Pick this up, 192.168.0.115. Here. There you go. And there we go. Camera fixed, back up online. There we go. So look, if you've got any questions, or you've come across anything like that similar yourself, and you need to sort of get your camera fixed or try and get it back online, please feel free to either drop a comment below, send us an email, get in touch with us. So thanks for watching, and that's a good example of today what we get up to on the day-to-day basis when we're doing call-outs and coming out to repairs on systems, whether they're ours or they're others. It's a bit of an unusual one. Obviously the just didn't have the computers and the technology on site to be able to remote desktop with that. So effectively we probably could have done this job remotely if we'd have had say the customer had the correct equipment in order to actually do a remote desktop and login. May have been fixable, may have not been, but obviously the quickest solution for us is really to attend site, swap the camera, fix the job for the customer immediately, bring the camera back here to the workshop where we have absolutely everything we need in order to get it done. And all in all, we spent probably 25-30 minutes on site, did all the firmware upgrades on all of the cameras on site, the MVR, made sure the customer's happy with everything, adjusted some of their zones and cameras, but then it meant we was in and out in probably half hour, 40 minutes maximum, back out in the car, back to the workshop, and now we've fixed this camera. We won't have to send it off for a warranty claim, and effectively we've still got a unit ready to replace any of the others if we ever need it. Okay, look, if there's anything that you want to know about Hikvision, any help that you might need, whether it's setting up your cameras, whether it's getting the best out of your system or anything like that, please drop a comment below. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you need anything directly, please just send us an email, and it's info@Charged.Services. And my name's Chris, and thanks again for watching.